Hi guys, welcome to another episode of New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year, where a couple of years ago, Robin and I did 365 days of 365 activities, travelling all around New Zealand and doing some of the best activities that New Zealand has to offer. And on today's episode, we are going to Piopio, which is in the North Island, to do a Hobbit filming location tour, which is pretty awesome. Definitely one for the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fans. And at the end of this video, we're going to go through all the questions you guys had about this particular tour when we released this video the first time. So see you at the end of the video.
We're not even halfway down the North Island yet. But on this journey today, we are going further south than we have ever been on this trip. This is a very noteworthy moment. Almost like that scene in The Lord of the Rings where Sam's like, "This will be the furthest I've ever been from the Shire, Mr. Frodo." And then Frodo's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Sam." And then they fall over and roll around in the mushrooms after that. That's not what happens with us today.
So in Piopio, there is something called Hairy Fit Waitomo, which is the real location where some of the Hobbits have been filmed.
There's these really ancient looking milk cartons that horses pull in their horse and carts, and then there's a little replica small bushman shelter on the side, which is like set up as it would have been back in the day with the bunk beds and the tinned soups, I guess, that they would have had. Before we've even got to the main attraction, there's just like a few little bits here and there to look at, and instantly, like, I'm getting good vibes about this place. I'm like, oh yeah, this person's like thought of everything.
And then you go inside the shop, and then inside the shop there is a lot of like second-hand toys too, which is pretty awesome, like all obviously Lord of the Rings themed. There's a lot of collectibles, like those toys from Burger Kings that were released when the movies were released. There is a couple of German guys that are going to be doing the tour with us. One German guy is called Rico and the other one is called Joe. So the first thing that Susie is doing, which Susie is going to be our host at Hairy Fit Waitomo for today, is giving us some props and say go in the field and go have fun. So we have the sword and we're going into battle, and it's pretty impressive, like the power that a couple of props have. Because honestly, I'm holding the sword right here and I'm straight away in character. I'm putting face and like, "Rah!" You just give me a sword and we all into it. Like Joe is about to slay his path through victory to go save the princess, and we all like ready to just battle him to death so he doesn't pass. Susie is showing us a little slideshow that she made, kind of like retraced from the day when Peter Jackson flew his helicopter above the location and said this is the guy that wants, to like the days when they finished the shooting. We head into the van and Susie is driving us all the way up to very close to the cliff where we're going to do a little tour.
It took them months to create this whole set, to get like all the costume designers up there to make a gravel road, to get people to the outdoor sets, to film these 6 minutes of footage. It took them months and months and months, and we get to see some of the process, how they made the set and what the whole place looked like. Obviously, while they were filming, Susie, who was there herself, she was taking photos of the behind the scenes, like all the trucks that were there while they were filming. It brought like hundreds of people to the area to help film these 6 minutes of footage, which is incredible.
Now the first few places where we arrive, Susie is showing us on a little binder. She's showing us the picture from the movie, and then we can see that this is the scene, and we take a pictures and we reenact a few scenes. You get Rico and Joe, which are like so into it, like yeah, we're gonna do it.
So all of a sudden the scenery instantly changes and we're in this thick forest, but also some of those elements of the limestone rocks, and one of which is actually instantly recognizable as the part in the Trollshaw forest scenes where Bilbo finds Sting, the sword, and then they exit a cave. This is where Gandalf gives the sword to Bilbo.
So in this cave, she kind of like places us properly to redo this scene where he's kind of unveiling Sting and be like, oh, this is the sword I'm gonna use to slay all those orcs. She really kind of like gave you the right position on the hand and this and that to kind of like get this picture perfect, which is really, really amazing.
Beside it are some fossils of giant clams. Susie even has like a few like shells to put next to the fossil to show like exactly which shell it is. Literally 5 steps down the track into the forest, we come across another scene from The Hobbit where we first see Radagast the Brown for the first time.
Something that is new to this little location compared to the other one is that on the floor we get to see the marks that the actor were using to know where to position themselves during the scene.
Literally another 2 steps down the track, there's the scene where the wargs and the orcs attack the company for the first time. So we then see the screenshots of like Thorin like kneeling down like holy shit while the wargs are about to attack them.
I mean, it's impressive how this location has so many different sceneries happening, and I can really feel why they picked this location because there's so much going on in this little forest. I mean, we probably walked for something like half an hour, right? And we stopped many times along the way, so the tour took 2 hours, but we walked about half an hour, and in half an hour there were enough for them to shoot 8 scenes. It's pretty impressive.
Before we head back into the shop, she's keen to show us Polly and Coffee, which are 2 tame sheep that have been bottle fed by her. And when they see her, they just come lolloping up to her. I never realised that sheep can act like dogs, but these sheep are like dogs.
So, we are staying at the Pop in Piopio, which is basically park over property.
Is how to make a meal out of parking.
I was trying to aim for like perfectly in the middle.
I wondered what the hell you were doing. You have the whole space. You could have parked anywhere, and you were just like, it's like Mr. Bean. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we did have a few questions about this Hobbit filming location tour, which is pretty awesome. We got one from Unofficial Bucket List Family saying, which of the movies is this? There's like 6 movies. So for this filming location, the filming locations featured in 2 of the Hobbit movies, the first and the second one. They do have full title names, I think Unexpected Journey, and I can't remember what the second one's called, but yeah, basically the first and the second movies. And actually this filming location is the single filming location in New Zealand that has the most screen time in the Hobbit trilogy as well, so that's a pretty cool fact. And we also got loads of comments about people really enjoying the tour, that they've done it themselves. Nishkan saying, I did this tour last year, absolutely loved it. The area is very small, but there is so much to see. Susie was so lovely and full of interesting stories. Yeah, we absolutely agree. We got that experience too. Also, we got a comment from someone also explaining us how to actually pronounce Piopio. So it's pronounced like Piopio. Maybe hard to say really fast, but we'll try and work on those pronunciations. And yeah, just all sorts of comments saying how everybody really loved the tour. So yeah, if you are a big Lord of the Rings fan, of course everyone thinks to go to the Hobbiton filming location, which is in Matamata. But if you want to actually see more of the Lord of the Rings or something alternative, maybe somewhere that, you know, not many tourists think to go to, then this is definitely a really awesome alternative. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you do have any questions of your own, make sure to put them in the comments section of this video. Also, you can join us for our live Q&A session, which we do on YouTube every single Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time, where you guys come into the live chat and ask your questions about travelling in New Zealand directly to us. Alternatively, you'll probably find the answer to the question you're looking for on nzpocketguide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide, and it has thousands thousands of articles about traveling in New Zealand, so lots of information to check out there. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next video of New Zealand's biggest gap year, so join us then.